Composer Gloves here, and this is the 9th video in the Harmor from the Ground Up tutorial series. Today we're going to be talking about the Harmonizer. I know you've always wanted to know what this does. Now before we talk about it, this is, if you watched my Harmless series, you might say, oh, I know what it's doing. Well, we have a few extra options here, and they could get a little confusing. If you don't know music theory, by the way, in this one, it's going to become important. I have a music theory series, so I'm not going to spend my time explaining music theory that's explained in another series. So, before we start talking about the harmonizer, well, just real quick, what it does is it clones harmonics. So the more harmonics we have, the more cloning we can do. But in order to make it really obvious what this does, we're going to set up a few things first. First, we're going to go to the advanced tab. You're going to see this unit order. This is the order our stuff's being processed in. You'll notice that the harmonizer is being processed, and that goes through the filters. Well, for this tutorial, we do not want that because we want our filters to remove everything except the harmonizer so we can see exactly what the harmonizer is putting into our stuff. So we're going to move it down just by simply scrolling while you're on top of it underneath both filters. So now these filters will not filter out the harmonizer's clone, but it will filter out all this other stuff, all the original signal. All the rest of it's fine. We don't need to touch any of that. So it clones stuff. So first, let's play a note. So it's unfiltered right now. So we're going to filter it. So we're going to move everything down to the fundamental tone. And that's good. So all we have is our fundamental tone right now. And what we're going to do is now we're going to turn the amount on. So this is the amount of cloned harmonics, basically how loud they are. And there's only one harmonic, so it can only clone them in the harmonic series as only the one. If we had more harmonics, and we're going to do that in a little bit, we'll get more clones. Then you have this width setting. So this width is basically saying how far up these harmonics can be cloned. So they stop right here. If we turn our width up, more harmonics can be made, as you can see. And now we have this STR, stands for strength. I keep thinking it stands for strings for some reason, but it's strength. And as you turn it on, it'll give emphasis to the cloned harmonics. Basically, it increases their volume. So if we do that, what it technically does is it increases the volume of the early cloned harmonics, whatever the crap that means. All I know is that it makes them louder. So you can see they're substantially louder now. And you can see it visually as well. So now that we've got that figured out, we could talk about this shift and gap options here for a second. So the shift has to do with its relationship to the fundamental frequency, this first one. The gap has to do with its relationship to the second harmonic, which we don't have right now. We filtered it out. So the gap won't do anything right now. We do not care about the gap. You have this multiply and this add setting. So basically, this will offset our cloned harmonics. It'll tell them how we want it cloned, essentially. So if we go to, they have this guitar tablature type thing. That's what it looks like to me anyways. I just wonder what the philosophy is behind this symbol. If anyone, hey, I want theories down in the comments. What does this mean? So maybe it's a graph. We have this multiply and we have this add function. So, and then we have offset by octaves. This is the music theory coming in. So if you don't know about octaves, then forget it. You're gonna get lost now. Okay, I'll give you a quick octave. Here's a C. Here's a C. The distance between these is an octave. C to C, another octave. And this is the difference in steps. So C to the next note, that's one step. Next note, another step, a step, a step. So you could go up to 9 steps, or only 8. I thought you could go up to 9. Maybe that's weird. You can only go up to 8 on this one. You can go up to 9 on, no, you can only go up to, I've been deceived. Maybe it's octaves. Yeah, you go up to 9 octaves. So anyways, you can, if you scroll up, you get to the addition. So it will, if we play our note, it'll add them. And right now this is 8, our harmonics that are being cloned 8 steps off from our fundamental frequency. So if we have a C, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is a minor 6th away from. So if we wanted to be kind of nice and be fifths, we'll have to go down to 7. I don't know why it's not 12. More questions. But it also has to do with the overtone series, which is like kind of weird. Go look up the overtone series if you've never looked it up before. It's quite interesting. And then this shifts it up an octave. So this will be, now it'll be 2 octaves away. So this guy will jump up a little bit because remember this is logarithmic, as we talked about earlier and in the previous videos. And these will go up quite a bit more. So you see them shift up. Actually, this will shift up more and these will shift up not so much. I had that backwards. And we go up 3 all the way up to 9. So they could be the clone quite far away from the fundamental, and our width would greatly hinder the upper ones. So these could create really atonal sounds. I believe there's a randomize option somewhere too. Randomize Matrix. So you could hit randomize if you don't know theory, and you can just go at it until then. So this does it by adding them. We can also scroll down and it will go to multiplication. So this will be 3 times the distance from this. So 3 times the steps. So it's getting kind of weird. But the octaves, it's not 1 times 3, it's the step times 3. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. It looks a little deceiving because then it'd be 0 times 8, and that would be 0 if we went down. But you could get your computer sound if you've always wanted to sound like a computer. And you cannot automate it, unfortunately. Oh, no, you can automate it. Ooh, you could create some interesting effects via this. So anyways, this will stay right on the fundamental. So now that we've got that all sorted out, let's reset this back to its original setting. There's no way that was the original setting. Anyways, so times 2 times 2. So and it's no octaves off. So the gap. So we're going to turn our filter on a little bit, and you see we get our second tone, and it clones a lot more because now we're cloning our second frequency. But now we're also using the gap. So this is in relationship to the second harmonic, which I believe is an octave up. I keep saying that, and I still haven't looked it up. I used to know for 100%, but now I don't. So this will do the exact same thing, octaves offset, for these harmonics, individual of the ones from the shift. And this will move it in the steps again, times that. So that's how that works. I use this often if I'm lacking high end, but then again, I've also noticed that these cloned harmonics tend to sound quite a bit corny. I like them better closer to the fundamental usually. So I'll go to the add side of things, maybe do like add 2. So that'd be pretty cool. Again, another interesting way to do some pad sounds, maybe not so much width. And that could be kind of cool. And we can move our harmonizer back up by the filters. As you can see, that sounds substantially different. That's another feature that's being combined, and we didn't talk about that. We could go into our Tambor Masking and mess with this. Let's make a lead sound, you know? That sounds like a pretty cool sound. A lead, general lead, we'll throw some reverb on it. I've shown you how to do this a few times. We're just going to turn it on, not do anything crazy. We're going to turn legato on, so it's now monophonic. And you could slide between notes. We're going to talk about this later, but now. And that's on my typing keyboard. I don't even have a MIDI controller in front of me, so that's pretty cool. We go down to the lower octave, and oh man, what's a good chord progression? We could do something like this. Melodies are a bit trickier. I'm moving really fast. You're going to have to go watch the FL, how to make your first song in FL if you want to know how to do this stuff. Whoa, what the heck's going on here? Why'd the prism turn on? Oh, I got our previous composition going. Do, 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 do. And we let's turn our the idea is to use this thing. So you could oh man, that could be a talkie type effect. So we could add formants using this. I have a DSP video on formants. Go check it out. Totally worth it. It's kind of like how you get the sound of a robot talking. Like that's one of the reasons vocoders are so cool. So we could turn it on like that. Yeah, anyways, we keep going. Wham. Sounds pretty good. We could totally make a melody out of that. And this could be our talkie thing, and it would be based on the Harmonizer riff. We could add a little flare right here. Whoops. Right here. Another whoops. Oh yeah, you could scrub. I forgot about that. No, there's another way. How is it? I forgot what the scrub option was, but there's totally a way to scrub through your audio all crazy like. Nope. I forgot it. Anyways, that's that. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Any suggestions, drop those in the comments. If you've eaten a taco today, you should subscribe and tell us what was in your taco in the comments. And have a blessed day.